Did you tell him?
Yeah. No, I didn't tell him.
Go ahead.
I'll say that for the podcast though. Yeah.
There you go.
We'll get into that as soon as we start.
Impressive.
What, the setup?
Talking about the setup. We'll talk about the setup.
Oh, all right.
Yeah. What's going on, y'all? Welcome to 75JUNCTION. This is episode 13.
Ooh. I've been missing for like
13?
5. So.
I think it's 12. No.
Nah, 12 was last week.
All right, 13. You edited them.
I mean, week before last. Yeah, because we didn't do one last week. Yeah. Apologies for that, for those to whom it may concern. But yeah, so episode 13. We are possibly going to try out a new setup here in the next episode or two.
Yeah, should be next one.
Yeah, so what we want to do is we kind of want to rearrange the center table, have it kind of like facing, it's horizontal now, so I have it vertical, facing towards the couch, have people sitting around it, and then have the television in the back, and then set the cameras up over there, so that way it's kind of got the TV and the view, so if we want to like put something up on the TV, we could just throw it up on the TV.
Impressive.
So basically I had a TV behind us and we're all like wrapped around. It had the cameras.
Right.
This way.
I like that.
Right. So just to try it out, just to see what it's like.
Yeah, we'll see what it'll look like after.
I'm impressed.
So if you're gonna have the couch set up like that, where is the desk gonna be?
We're gonna slide the desk over towards the door. So we're gonna close the door and then we're gonna slide the desk over towards the door.
And we kind of tested it out already, just to see what the layout will look like.
Up?
It's kind of gonna wrap. Like we're gonna move this, and it's kind of gonna start from here, like a little bit further from where you're at, and then wrap around.
Yeah,
that way.
It works. We tried it. So yeah,
it might be cool. I don't know.
We'll see. I think it's an interesting concept. I mean, we're going around the places to we're gonna have to find a dedicated place eventually.
Well, it'll be.
I mean, I don't think it's bad to switch it up, but
reason I considered it is because I thought it would be cool as far as I mean, we could display like the logo and shit for the podcast up there on the TV. But then when we ever have content that we want to have a visual for the people that are watching, we can put it up on the screen.
Yeah,
and then talk about it or whatever.
That's true. I like the way you think, Ant. That's impressive.
I try.
Yeah, that's nice. So, yeah, I mean, we're going around the places eventually, man, because we did it in the office, we did the living room, we plan to do it outside in the backyard.
Backyard cookout.
I mean, what else do we have left?
When the last time you fired up? What's the last time you fired up the fire pit, though?
It's been like what, 2 months, Eric. A year.
Nah, I'm playing.
Oh, wow.
I was joking.
About a month. We did it.
It's looking a little ashy.
Yeah, when the kid was here.
Yeah, we did it the week of Christmas, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, well, I wasn't here for that one, but
I don't think I was.
So we've done it again since then because I
was here
for Christmas. The one around Christmas, I was not here for that.
It was right before Christmas.
I wasn't here for that because Sherman called me and was like, "How the fuck you gonna give the idea of having s'mores and not come?"
Oh yeah, I did.
Without saying, so don't say anything.
Was I
in
here?
Response, right? When I say this, you'll know. I know you was there that night. Because I'm sorry, it was after Christmas. It was.
I know what you're talking about.
Yes, yes. All right, so
You're
right.
Rondo.
You know you was there.
Exactly
Just don't say
it.
I
know exactly what he's talking about. But yeah, so
Rondo.
It was a very good day for me.
I still
Rondo.
Was I not there though?
Yeah,
I wasn't there. Okay.
You never there, man.
Eric, don't text me.
Damn,
we'll talk after the podcast.
Why am I never there?
You gotta know now.
Why am I never
there?
there?
Oh, now I'm too close to the goddamn mic.
Yeah, you was
you
all
about to piss. You about to piss me.
Who's microphone too? Ant, say something.
Hello.
Oh yeah, you microphone too. You got to back up just a little bit.
I'm too close to it?
No, just push it back just a little bit.
Now this nigga, I just told this
nigga.
Yes, I saw. I just told this nigga don't text me.
Y'all about to blow some people's speakers out, man.
You just told me to talk in this same spot where I'm at.
Yeah, but you started raising your voice. I wasn't account for that when you did that.
He a man, yo. What you mean?
Had enough.
What's that supposed to mean?
Bro, what we talking about today?
Yeah.
I'm sick of this.
So let's talk about these trades, man. So the NBA is crazy, man. The NBA is crazy with these trades they got going on, man. So the NBA, well, specifically, one of the trades I want to hone in on was Marc Gasol to Toronto.
Mm-hmm.
That was a crazy trade. For one, Marc Gasol, in my opinion, was the face of the Grizzlies, not Mike Conley, contrary to what some people may say. Even though Mike Conley had a bigger contract than he did, Marc Gasol is what they built the team around, in my opinion. So
it's factual.
Yeah. I mean, it was just crazy. I mean, you're talking about uprooting your. And who did they trade for him? Let me see.
It was Valanciunas and
Valanciunas, a 2024 draft pick, which
Toronto,
which blew my mind. I was like 2024. That's like fucking.
Toronto,
that's 5 years from now. Like
Toronto definitely lost this trade.
Yeah, absolutely.
They definitely lost it.
Absolutely.
That's ridiculous.
Markelle Fultz got traded from the 76ers, and he got sent to Orlando.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, bruh, you think they're going to regret it, though?
I know they're going to regret it.
Yeah.
Can I hear a reasoning for why?
I'm just, listen, man.
It ain't going to work out.
I got all the faith in Feltz in the world. Trust me. It's going to happen. Niggas going to see.
Okay, we'll find out. And then apparently Enes Kanter and Wesley Matthews from the Knicks got waived. So they are no longer with the New York Knicks. I mean, not Knicks. I'm sorry. Yeah,
the
Knicks.
They waived Kanter?
Yeah.
Oh, the Lakers gonna sign this nigga.
Who else put out an offer for AD other than the
Nobody.
Lakers?
I think it was just the.
It was the Lakers.
But the Lakers was the only one that was so televised because of who they offered. They were offering Lonzo Ball. They were offering Rondo, Kuzma, Ingram.
Yeah.
The whole line.
Lance Stevenson.
Wife. Oh, yeah, that's right.
All the LA Lakers fan base. You know?
And the other team, they couldn't really make offers into the offseason anyway because of how their contracts are set up.
Right.
So I was thinking, like, is that a bad sign that they got no other offers?
No, it's because the other teams can't because of how their contracts are set up. So the Pelicans don't want to take on, like, for instance, let's say if even though this would never happen, like if OKC would have been like, we'll give you Russ for AD, even though Russ has a bigger contract, it'll help OKC, but it won't help New Orleans because
they have to assume the salary.
Yeah, so their salary cap would just be crazy. So that's pretty much why a lot of these teams have to wait till the offseason to make offers. But like I was telling Sherm earlier, the Pelicans are going to end up regretting this move because a lot of these other teams don't have the assets to trade for him, and AD is going to end up just walking anyway. Like, he's making it clear he don't want to be there. So that deal that the Lakers offered him is probably the best deal that they're going to get.
That was the best deal.
Because Boston is not going to give up Tatum, Jaylen Brown, and all that, and then they don't even know if Kyrie's going to stay. Like, that's not happening.
If that trade happens for the Pelicans, you think that would work for them?
It's too late now. The trade deadline's over.
I know. I'm saying if that happened, then
I think it would have worked.
Hypothetical.
It would have been great because you got to keep in
think
mind,
so?
They're getting like 7 players. They're getting 2 first round draft picks for Anthony Davis. And it's not to say that Anthony Davis isn't a great player. He's a monumental player. Mm-hmm. However, you're getting 7 players, which will exponentially increase your depth. They're young players. They're talented, and they're developing as well. So you can develop them into superstars in New Orleans and build your starting 5 around them.
So would you say that could have been like a 50-50 type of thing? Like it could have worked out or it couldn't?
Even if it couldn't work out, they got pieces to trade.
Yeah, they got pieces to trade.
Well, okay, in that sense.
So they could have negotiated because with those players, you can get another good key role player in exchange for those players.
Honestly, with the way how their contracts is set up, New Orleans could have still went out and signed another max free agent because nobody has like a big contract out of that group that was getting traded. Like Kuzma still is under his his rookie contract, so is Lonzo, and Brandon Ingram, he won't get that much money anyway because of injuries and all that. So they would have still had hella money.
Facts.
So I don't know what New Orleans was doing with that.
Yeah. So I mean the trades have been pretty crazy, man. I mean, like I'm still tripping over the Marc Gasol one because Toronto, like, they gotta be mental to do that trade.
Yeah, Valanciunas, that's not a even swap.
Like one up Valanciunas for Marc Gasol. That's what I think. Because Marc Gasol, in my opinion, is on the decline. Yeah. He's not as good as he used to be. So now you're sacrificing depth and a draft pick, provided that draft pick is 5 years. But
the way I look at it, they're just like, we need some veteran spaz on this team, so let's get rid of one of our better scorers to bring in a veteran presence, right? Because we think that'd be what get us over the hump in the playoffs. When, if you think about it, like if you really go back and look at it, like they might not talk about it a lot, but being a LeBron fan, I watch these series. Valanciunas is the most consistent player on their team in the playoffs. Like he's the most consistent player, so they bugged out.
That's true. And then the Knicks also traded Porzingis to the Dallas Mavericks.
Too. Yeah, they were idiots. They were idiots.
I'm telling you, man, that's gonna be a dynamic duo having Luka Doncic and Porzingis on the same team.
I think it was a good trade.
It was a good trade
for the Mavericks. Yeah.
For the Knicks, didn't get anybody.
They got nothing. They got nothing.
Like let me see who they got.
So they got a first round draft pick, but do they even know what pick it is?
It don't matter because they're gonna end up getting the first round draft pick regardless with their garbage ass. So. They didn't really gain nothing.
They gotta rebuild, man.
That's what I'm thinking. It's a perfect way to rebuild.
Yeah, and I mean, it's
Well,
not
at
like they
least-
have a bad coach. David Fizdale is a great coach, but
the thing
Maybe they
is
didn't
they're-
want to build around Porzingis, I guess.
But the thing
he's
is,
been
they're-
injured too, and
I
he
think
wants.
they
He doesn't
banking
want
on
to be there no
Zion.
more.
But the
Bruh.
thing is,
Huh?
you're
they
banking
bank-
on potential. You're banking like you're pretty much banking on another Greek freak. Honestly, like that's pretty much what you're banking on. Like we've seen this so many times with so many players. Case in point, Brandon Ingram, dynamic in college.
Mm-hmm.
What is
Yeah.
his staple in the NBA so far? Like nothing. He was talked
True.
about just like Zion is talked about in college. Gets to the NBA, nothing. Like at the end of the day, players can be great in
I don't think
college.
Zion gonna be something special.
It depends on who he ends up with. If you don't have that right coach to mold that mentality and give you what you need,
That's facts.
it's not there. It's not there. Granted, he's playing with a great coach now, and Coach K, arguably to me, that's the best coach in basketball, period. But that's not enough. The college mentality is not the same as the NBA mentality, and you see how certain players are because of that. Like if you think about it, the players, the few that are left that came straight to the NBA, no college experience, their mentality is a little bit different than those that went to college.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
And more to the trade with Porzingis, they receive Dennis Smith Jr. and DeAndre Jordan in exchange for Porzingis, which is a good deal in my opinion.
You got something in your throat, my nigga?
Nah, I was laughing.
Why you so aggressive, man?
Yeah, you need to calm
You
down.
said Dennis
Niggas get-
Smith and who?
Niggas get a dad head and don't know how to
DeMarcus
act out
Jordan.
this
and
bitch.
DeMarcus Jordan.
Sick of this shit.
I bet DeAndre Jordan, DeMarcus. I'm weak. I was thinking
Oh yeah, I
the
forgot they
cousins.
did get DeAndre Jordan.
Yeah, but that's not really that good.
No,
of
he's just a
pickup.
role player. So.
He's a good role player. He's a decent center. He'll get you your offensive and defensive boards, but I mean he's
You
not.
can't build a team around him.
Nah, he's not a pivotal player. He's just a key in the big picture of things.
Dennis
Yeah.
Smith though.
Dennis Smith, he's okay.
Yeah, he's alright.
He's not phenomenal. He's not.
No,
gonna
he's
bring
not
them-
phenomenal,
He's not going to bring
but-
them any big offensive spurts or anything like that. But he is a good
He's
role
a
player.
he's a piece.
Yeah, he's definitely
He's
a piece.
definitely a piece.
Definitely a piece. So I mean that's good for the Knicks. So they have.
I
something
think
to
the
build
Knicks
on.
They got
are
it. They
more
got
so
it.
gonna
Yeah.
tank, get Zion and trade him.
Trade Zion for
Maybe not necessarily trade Zion, but trade the draft pick.
Oh, you're talking about
Like might not
Oh,
necessarily
okay.
trade Zion, but trade the
Yeah.
trade the number one draft pick and try to land one of these big fish that's gonna be in the pond at the end of the season.
I can see
So
that. Yeah.
especially if they don't land Kyrie, it's like what else do these niggas got to do? Like,
Yeah. Well, Kyrie and LeBron might be possibly reuniting.
bro, that's
in
happening.
LA.
I'm telling niggas right now, that's happening.
That'd be the best thing
I
for
could see
Kyrie.
I could see it honestly. I honestly could see it because I
Definitely
mean
be
Kyrie.
the
The
best. It'd be
way,
the best thing for both of them, honestly.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
both of them, but
the way
Kyrie
Kyrie's been
especially.
talking, man.
Yeah, the way how these niggas been talking to each other lately, it's like, oh, okay.
Yeah,
I see
yeah.
what's
Right.
going on.
I saw.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, I see where this is going.
Exactly. And then have y'all seen the All-Star team selections between Team Giannis and Team LeBron?
Please tell me y'all seen that
I
stupid
haven't
shit
seen
that
it.
Giannis
All right, so
pulled.
I
I'm
haven't.
about
Why?
to tell y'all the teams. I'm gonna tell you
All right.
my favorite team first.
No. Tell
favorite.
Giannis team first.
That's what I'm talking
Oh
about.
yeah, tell that team
Okay.
first.
So starts off of Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Hold on, and mind you, throw out there that he had the first pick.
He did have the first.
He
pick.
had the first pick.
He picked Stephen Curry. Not bad.
That's
Good.
decent.
Okay.
I ain't mad at it.
Joel Embiid. Not bad.
Okay.
Okay.
Paul George. It's not bad.
All right.
And Kemba Walker.
Now hold in your mind who's left. That names that weren't named.
Yeah, I
Now,
don't know about Walker.
Team LeBron. LeBron James, obviously. Kevin Durant.
Okay.
Kawhi Leonard.
Mm-hmm.
James Harden. Kyrie Irving. Come on, bro.
Giannis had the
Come
first
on,
pick,
bro.
bro.
Oh my god.
He had the first pick.
They're going to whoop their ass.
Easy.
Oh, hold
They're
on.
going to whoop
Hold
their
on, think about
ass.
the
Hold on.
bench. Klay Thompson. They allowed LeBron to get
Hold on,
Klay
who's on
Thompson.
who?
Oh, LeBron
Klay
got.
Thompson?
Oh, hold on. Let me look up
bro.
the bench. Let
Yeah,
me look
LeBron
up
got
the,
Klay Thompson.
Let me look up the reserves.
Mind you,
real
Giannis
quick.
had first pick.
Do I have to watch?
So
Bro.
the fact that LeBron went,
I wonder why he chose Walker.
the fact that Giannis went Steph, LeBron went KD. That means James Harden is still on the shit.
Yeah.
And Giannis still didn't pick this nigga. It's like, what are you doing?
But you
Oh.
know, Giannis is kind of not against them, but kind of indifferent from them too.
And even to even add further insult to injury, so LeBron and Giannis. So this was all televised. The drafting. They traded. So LeBron traded Russell Westbrook for Ben Simmons. I was like, why would y'all trade Ben Simmons for Russell Westbrook? Because Russell
Especially
Westbrook
to
is
LeBron, the nigga that
I'll
taps
take
into this.
Russell Westbrook.
right.
Not with if you gotta think about it, LeBron and this nigga Ben Simmons trained together. Them niggas,
they already got chemistry.
The way how they ball together. I don't know if you seen it, like the offseason when Hoodie Mello was balling and shit.
Yeah, that's all I was
niggas was
saying about
embarrassing
the
them
Greek
niggas.
He kind of against that.
Hmm?
He kind of against that.
How was he against it when he was balling with these niggas over the summer?
Who you talking about?
Giannis said he liked to work out on his own, bro.
But this nigga was with them the whole summer. Like he's on the court with these niggas.
I watched a little post.
I mean, I know the post you're talking about.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about. But this nigga was there, so it's like I don't.
Guess they got in an argument.
Maybe I don't know. Maybe he realized how stupid he fucking looked. With
LeBron
these
James also coincidentally has Anthony Davis on his team as well.
Oh
so
yeah, we forgot the
that.
name.
And then Giannis was like, "Is that tampering?"
I
was like,
LeBron. With LeBron, though, that shit ain't tampering because he get away with all that shit.
Yeah,
He owns that shit, man.
I think it sucks you can't say you want to play with another player.
Yeah,
There's nothing
it's
wrong.
in your contract though.
I don't think there's anything wrong with saying you want to. Well,
It is.
It's when you sign that contract saying that you won't do that. That's what makes it.
but I think tampering is deeper than saying, "Oh, I would like to play with them."
Or,
Oh, yeah, of
or
course.
colluding. They call
Yeah.
it that too.
Collusion, yeah.
But my thing is, I don't understand why they find, because I actually did some more research on it. AD didn't publicly come out and say I want to be traded. His manager did. So it's like, I mean, his agent did. So why are you?
I thought
why
they
he
both,
get-
I thought
why
they
he
both
get
got
fined?
fined.
Yeah.
They both did, but my thing is, why should AD get fined if Rich Paul's the one who's saying it publicly? Like
Probably
AD
'cause
never.
I guess he
Probably just 'cause
technically
he
couldn't
represents
say it
them.
if
But
he
that
didn't.
shit's stupid.
It
Like,
is,
I can
though.
see if
I
AD
guess
went on
it
a post
connects him
show.
in the sense that Rich Paul had to admit to saying it, because if not, then they could have.
I tell you
Well,
what, bro,
maybe-
that would've
maybe
been
they were
$50,000 ass whooping. That's what that would.
Hell yeah.
I think
How about you?
they
You
were
gotta scream
trying
with
to.
me,
They're
bro.
probably trying to put their foot down on that just so you can't like try to work around it, like work around the stipulation.
Yeah,
so.
yeah.
I mean, I
If,
can
if,
see
if he
it, but-
abuses it, then somebody else would be like, "Oh, agent, you know what to do."
Yeah, and
You know what it is.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I full-heartedly agree, but they gonna have to do something to fix that because at
It's
the
still
end of the
messed
day,
up.
it's not fair. Like, 'cause everybody, Rich
Because
Paul,
if he had nothing to do with his
I do
agent
think
saying
AD
it, like,
wanted him to say it, so that's the only reason why.
but
I
the
don't
thing
feel like-
is,
maybe you never
the thing
know.
is still the contract says the player should not say it. It does not say the agent should not say it. It says the player cannot go publicly and say this. AD, you don't see AD nowhere saying, "I want off this team." Like, you don't see him saying this shit nowhere. So
Yeah.
it's like,
It's sticky
But
though,
then
because like
him
he
having to
said,
stick
he
to it
could have
'cause
he
that's
could have
his
told his
agent
agent
kinda
to
proves
say
he
that,
said-
but
but
there's
I'm
no way to
saying-
prove it.
It proves that he said it because he didn't
What?
discredit the agent's quote.
but the
You
thing
feel me?
is, he didn't discredit it because he went to the front office and have had this conversation with them. He never publicly said.
He shouldn't have to
I don't
even
wanna-
publicly say that.
you
He
know
could
what
say
I'm
it to his
saying?
agent in private and be like, "What the fuck?"
AD,
He
first of all,
don't have to.
The Pelicans
He's not
knew AD
obligated
wanted
to
out
do that.
since last season. AD told him he wanted out last season, but
Yeah.
they won't go. Of course, they won't go make that move. Like,
Yeah,
this nigga
yeah,
just
yeah.
signed that contract,
right.
so of course they won't about to ship him then.
Yeah.
No,
Oh, that's that new Telluride.
That's true.
So apparently it can
Sick
go
of
through
these
the
niggas,
water.
man.
What?
Hey, we about to talk about this Super Bowl.
Man, it ain't gonna be a long conversation.
Worst Super Bowl in history.
That was the worst Super Bowl I've ever
It
watched.
wasn't
Lot of-
even
lot
like
of
great
defense.
either. It was just like
It was just bad
Niggas
plays
just
on
sucked.
both ends.
Defense, but-
Bad plays on both ends, bro.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't anything.
Tom Brady
the
just had the
Rams
better
punted
worst.
8 times in like the first half or something like that.
Yeah, I was like, how you go to the Super Bowl, the biggest game of your career, and you score 3?
How you go to the Super Bowl as the biggest offensive threat in the league and don't score not one time?
I feel like, at least I'm not that big in the NFL, but I feel like, far as everything that's been going for the NFL, this is the worst time to have a Super Bowl like that.
Yeah,
I feel like
I feel like it's the
everybody-
worst time to have a
I
Super
feel
Bowl
like
like that.
everybody at
Like
the
they
same-
needed something really exciting. My bad. Go
Nah,
ahead.
you good. I feel like everybody was like, Travis Scott does not sound the same.
He doesn't. He does not.
No,
Bro,
he
when he
doesn't.
started performing, I
I
was
mean,
like, what is this?
I knew that, but
Who's
it was
that
just
guy?
like it was kind of like, man,
Why
this
is he teaming
this
up
song
with-
is so different. Like,
Let's talk about how we were robbed of the SpongeBob performance.
yeah, with that little clip.
I didn't see that.
I thought they were gonna play. What's that song called? Something Glory.
Sweet Victory.
Sweet Victory.
Sweet
Yeah,
Victory,
Sweet
yeah.
Victory. They was gonna play Sweet Victory, and then they transitioned to sicko mode. I was like, y'all about to piss me off.
He only did, like, a little bit
visual
of-
was everything, but then when you heard his voice, it was like, why can you beef his voice up the way you beef?
Well, why is he?
Because they have mics that have auto-tune built
Right,
in, so I
that's
don't know
what
why
I'm
they didn't
saying,
give
like,
him that.
I'm sure he doesn't go on tour and do that.
No.
You feel me?
Why
So
are
it's
they
just
putting
like,
Travis in Maroon 5?
I don't know. And then you see
Why
Adam
is that
Levine
a
shirt.
collab? Why
But
is
everybody
that-
lost it when Big Boy came up.
course.
though.
But they do that
Their
with
fan bases don't even like.
They do that at every Super Bowl though. Like they did the same thing with Bruno Mars, Coldplay, and Beyonce.
yeah.
Like that's their new unification shit that they
But
do.
it don't make sense
Yeah.
to me.
I mean, it makes sense in the
kinda,
sense that they're
kinda.
attacking a different.
It gives
I
you
get
all
that.
three. It gives you the black
trying to give a
audience,
variety.
the
like
white
Kim
audience.
Jong
Variety.
and Shaq on the TV right now. You feel me? Like,
Yeah, it gives all the races.
It's a variety. Yeah,
Yeah,
variety.
it gives the variety.
I guess it makes sense in a business sense, but I don't think everybody wants to see that.
So you weren't pleased with it?
I mean, I fuck
Did
with
you watch the
Maroon
Super
5
Bowl?
So what
I know
you
you
would've-
was working though,
you
right?
would have liked to
I
see
ended up watching it though
P Diddy,
afterwards.
French Montana,
Oh.
and Dave East for the Super
Hell
Bowl.
no.
What?
So,
French Montana and Dave East.
I fuck with Maroon 5 personally, so I mean, I was pleased. So
I mean, I don't know. Adam Levine had to take his shirt off.
nah, he definitely didn't.
I was
have to
like,
do that, bro.
I was like, why are you doing this?
I fuck
man?
with
What's
the song
the
choice.
goal?
The song I
That
felt
nigga
like
was shining though. His chain was sweet.
I felt like his song choice was perfect. I feel like the performance
Yeah.
was what it needed to be,
Yeah.
and
song choice was perfect.
yeah, his song choice was definitely perfect because he performed all the shit black people like for them niggas. So
Yeah,
everything
that's exactly.
everything that black
He
people like.
recited.
Travis
He
Scott performed
recited
everything white
every
people like.
song that I
Sicko
knew.
mode.
But look, he did every song that I knew, but didn't realize he did all of them. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Like he was like,
It was
I
very
know the
smart.
songs y'all know.
Yeah,
So would you say that you were impressed?
I would say that the halftime show is more lit than the game.
definitely.
Which isn't saying much, but yeah, I would agree. That's how strongly I feel about how bad
I
the Super Bowl
was just
was.
about to say
Like
that.
I was watching it like during the party that we had, and I did not pay very much attention to it at all. Like it wasn't anything
point.
extravagant.
The
Well,
Rams-
at first I did when I came back from out back and Tom Brady threw that first pick.
What was you doing out back?
Thought
Yeah,
I was
in the
gonna
beginning.
do that. I was looking for your speaker,
Oh,
but
okay.
when I first saw that, I was
Impressive.
like, "Oh, it's about to be crazy." But then it just
The Rams are the same team that dropped 51 points and couldn't score not one time in
That-
the Super Bowl.
I would have been pleased if Kansas City and
boy,
the Rams
oh
had
boy,
bet again in
that
the Super Bowl.
rematch would have been
Oh my
sweet.
God.
I wish Drew Brees was there instead. Drew Brees would have never allowed
I
that
would have
stupid shit
preferred
to
Drew
happen.
Brees as well. You
Drew
know, the
Brees would not
Saints,
have allowed that shit to
definitely.
happen.
Yeah, that Saints game was crazy.
I
between them
would
and the
say it
Rams.
sucks that that's how Tom got the sixth one. I
Yeah.
would have loved to seen
He didn't even throw a
his
touchdown.
last year's performance this year.
Yeah, this nigga
for
didn't even
his
throw a
six.
touchdown.
Yeah. Wait, last year? You talking about
The
the year
sad
before
thing
last
is-
against the Falcons?
No, I meant
Against the
last year
Eagles?
It's the Eagles.
They lost.
But his stats, like he threw
Oh.
for like 500 yards.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I'm about to say this nigga don't want to see what he did to the Falcons again. Why would he want to see that?
Y'all just gonna keep trying to go back.
Aric,
Unfortunately, I think he is gonna go out with 7.
You think so?
I don't see how you how
I
you
could
can
see it.
see anything else.
could see
Like
I don't know.
I mean, not
because
that
the
you can't see
Patriots. I
anything
mean,
else.
the Patriots don't have.
I think in
a
the
bad
next 4 years they're gonna win another championship.
team. Do you think he's gonna be around for 4 more years? I know he would. I know
Potentially.
he would like to, but
I think
All I'm gonna say is
I think guaranteed 2 and 3 and 4 is gonna be a toss up. You know what I'm saying? But definitely 2 more.
he's talking about years.
Next
what
year,
he's- I know
next
what
year
he's
is the
talking about.
definite, right? He's already riding the high
Uh-huh.
off
He's
of
winning the Super Bowl next year.
No, of playing.
Oh, I was about to say.
Then the year after that is another guarantee. After that, I'm not sure. But one of those 4 years, they're gonna win another Super Bowl.
Hey, look,
And I
man.
hate the Patriots.
The reason why I'm a kinda, sorta disagree, and this is pending the moves that are made this offseason. If they do what I think that they're going to do this year, there's a team that plays on the Baltimore Highway that is finna show the Patriots what's up once again.
The Ravens.
Of course. Let me tell you something.
Go ahead, tell me.
I'm gonna get the Chargers. They just do. They beat us. But what the Patriots did to the Chargers, them niggas damn sure won't about to do to us.
The Chargers might be a threat next year again.
Who are they a threat to?
What do you mean? They went to the playoffs.
Themselves.
And then what happened?
They lost to the Patriots though.
They just lost. We just call that just lost. Them niggas got their ass whooped. Got their ass handed to them. That shit made me so.
Bad for Drew Brees. Yeah,
that shit made me so disappointed that we could not beat the Chargers again and just get to the Patriots one more time. That shit pissed me off. Them niggas suck. The Chargers suck.
Wait, so they beat y'all in the wild card?
Yeah.
And you talking shit?
Yes, they beat us by 2 points.
Hey.
And then we busted. And the only reason why that shit happened, is because our coach want to be fucking stupid. It was obviously time to go to Joe Flacco in that moment, and this nigga didn't. And look what Lamar threw it. He fumbled, matter of fact. Fumbled on the fucking goal line.
Yeah.
Idiot.
I think we ain't getting another ring. I mean, we ain't getting a ring till Matt Ryan gone. Don't get me wrong. Matt Ryan is a great quarterback. I'm sorry, very good quarterback.
Falcons ring?
But he just can't get it done.
I'm not going to comment on that because the Cowboys ain't doing shit.
Yeah.
I don't see the Cowboys.
Y'all have a ring?
In my opinion, right? Your biggest problem is Dak Prescott. It's not that he's a terrible quarterback.
I disagree.
He's just not that great.
Nah, I
disagree.
I think it's bigger than that.
Yo, I think Nick Foles with the Cowboys could have went to the Super Bowl.
General office, all that shit, bro. Like,
yeah, it's not
management with the Cowboys is the issue.
But you just happen to have a Super Bowl caliber team. I think Nick Foles on the Cowboys would have went to the Super Bowl. Real talk. You got a top 5 defense. You had a great first option. You had a young. First of all, you got to realize Galloway, part of the reason why he's not that good, look how many times Dak Prescott has missed him.
Yeah.
Look at those games.
But you also have to look at how much duress Dak Prescott is under as well. Like, niggas understand his style of play now. Like, that first year that he had, he was fresh. He was new. Just
this
like
is year 4.
But this is what I'm saying. Like, niggas understand his style of play now. So that scheme that their offensive line has, that shit don't work no more. Them niggas is going straight through that shit every time.
This is year 4 for what?
Dak Prescott.
Is it?
Nah,
I think this is
last
3.
not the season that just passed, but the season before that was his first season because he replaced Tony Romo.
No, he replaced Tony Romo 2 years ago.
So that would make this season 3 then.
It was 2 years ago. You're right. So yeah. So this is
so
okay. So we're going into his 4th season.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. No, you're right. Okay.
But what I'm saying is that first year he was so prolific because nobody knew. What
right, and he did it. But everybody has that time to show whether you're one of the best. Is when you do it for a long, consistent period of time.
But that's so what has Nick Foles done for a long, consistent period of time?
I mean, he's always been a good backup quarterback.
But that's my thing. You don't game plan for this.
I get that. They always say because he's never played a full season.
Exactly. So you don't just like the same thing.
So let me not use Nick Foles, but my point is that a better quarterback, they would have went to the Super Bowl. Let me think of somebody who could have done it. I don't know if Matt Ryan could have won it, but Matt Ryan could have definitely took him to the Super Bowl. That's serious. All right, let me use somebody else. Because I don't want to name the obvious. You know what I'm saying?
Like Tom Brady or
Drew Brees or
Aaron Rodgers.
Same thing with Aaron Rodgers. He would have did the same thing. What's the boy name with the Bears? He could have
Aaron Rodgers. He's too hot.
What's your boy name with the Bears? He could have took him to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, who is their quarterback?
He just got a funny last name that I just don't want to mess it up.
I want to mess it up.
Trebet, something like that. Trebet. It's something like that.
I don't know.
The reason why I disagree with that is because these niggas, they don't put up a lot of points. Them niggas have a grade A defense. Like, they have a grade A defense. The Bears.
And so does the Cowboys.
But my thing is, the Cowboys, they score a lot more due to Dak and Zeke, though. He don't play like neither one of them. He's more of a pocket passer.
Mitchell Trubisky.
That's what
you say you don't think it's so much of Dak?
Yeah, as soon as he got Amari Cooper, bro.
Yeah, Amari Cooper was like I said, one of the best things that happened to the Cowboys.
But again, they keep getting pieces around him, and he's the one that's not performing. He's missing those passes.
But that's just like
it's not anybody else. They had a top 5 defense. They got a top 5 running back. They got a top 8 first receiver, right? They got a decent rookie, or is he either rookie or second year coming up. Where else is there? The offensive line is good. What else do you need? Go look at the playoff plays. He's the guy missing the critical third down conversions. It's not Zeke. And the only game Zeke's not having a great game is when they're not feeding him. And that goes to coaching. I give that.
Yeah, that's what I'm about to
but,
say.
still, but I'm telling you, bro, my cousins are both. We go watch the games almost every Sunday at my cousins. 2 of my cousins are Cowboys fans. So, of course, if they're playing on TV, we're watching it. Mm-hmm. Them playoff games, bro, Dak lost those games, bro. He did not make the necessary.
So would you say y'all game when y'all played the Patriots in the Super Bowl that Matt Ryan lost that game?
No, because each time, and here's why.
Well, I blame that on defense.
I blame it on defense. I blame it on defense.
But no,
well.
you can't just blame it on defense.
Exactly.
It's no. I'm in that in the sense that
Matt Ryan missed some key throws
in this
that game,
exception that he did, but I would say it was 65%, 70% at least on the defense.
Yeah, because
it was absolutely horrible.
You got to look at it like this: they had 27 points to 3.
Yeah, 28-3.
Of course.
28-3. So Matt Ryan had already did his job.
Of course.
They had the offense.
But he did have his job because the job ain't done to the fourth quarter.
The defense is what messed it up though, because they were able to go from 3 points all the way past them.
Mm-hmm.
The year Kaepernick went to the Super Bowl, when we played them in the NFC Championship, we were up 21-3 late in the third quarter. We got a terrible, well, not terrible completely now because we have grown, but then we had injuries.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So we didn't have A1 talent back there, but we've never had a very strong defense.
But that's what I'm saying. At the end of the day, you can't really blame your defense going into that Super Bowl because y'all knew what to expect from your defense. What got y'all there was y'all prolific offense.
Nah, bro. I mean, but at the same time, he put up the points, bro.
But he put up the points in the first half.
I'm not saying it's not. Yeah,
you got to finish that. I
say it's 25% Matt Ryan.
You absolutely have to finish, but
the way how I look at that shit,
it's just inexcusable for the defense.
It's definitely inexcusable for the defense.
That's ridiculous.
But my thing is, they weren't known as a stout defensive team.
And then secondly, when
it's against Tom Brady, do you really think at the end of the day,
any given Sunday, you can be that team? And when you see that moment, when you see it's 28-3, then you realize now it is your job to win the game. You feel me?
But think about it, bro. You're going against the greatest quarterback of all time.
Of all time.
Arguably. This is not my words. This is what niggas say. But
this is what niggas say.
You really think that you was gonna hold Tom Brady to 3 points?
Indubitably.
Like, did niggas really think that was gonna happen?
That's my new word.
I think niggas knew this storm was coming.
What is the definition?
Why you gotta add?
What's the definition of indubitably?
Indubitably is to confirm. Indubitably is to confirm without denial. So it's like saying something is definitely
something
true.
Stupendous.
Like it's
basically we gonna go to the bar and he gonna say indubitably and we gonna get beat up.
It's basically concurring.
Why would we get beat up?
He's saying indubitably.
I want to beat the person that
somebody be like, I don't know what that word means, so I'm about to just square up with you like
for a word.
I wasn't even talking to you.
Like dictionary.
That nigga sweet as pumpkin pie. Talk about some indubitably.
Because said indubitably, that's a
motherfucker's gonna whoop your ass.
He gonna backslap you.
That's a motherfucker's gonna whoop your ass.
I hate English teachers.
Yeah, you right.
Hands just expensive my vocabulary.
Is the autistic guy that's gonna whoop your
that
ass.
Word just sounds weird to me.
Hey man, gotta expand your vocabulary, my friend.
I mean, it don't matter about expansion. I probably wouldn't add it because of the way it sounds.
Yeah, I only know what indubitably means because it was on some cartoon when we were young. Somebody used to say it, so I just knew what it meant.
My vocabulary is very arbitrary at times, so I apologize.
Yeah, you know an NFL team that's done though?
I think we all know what
the
those words mean.
What?
Huh?
You know what arbitrary means?
Yeah, strange.
No.
Yes, it does.
It doesn't mean strange.
Yes, it does.
That's not what arbitrary means.
Google it.
It means based off of random decision and or.
Whoa.
How is that strange? That's not strange.
How? Then define strange.
Strange is something that is out of the ordinary. Something that's
random.
That's not,
what is out of the ordinary?
Random is not out of the ordinary.
Yeah, random's not out of the ordinary.
What?
Random
is not out of the ordinary.
Random out of ordinary?
It's not out of
random
ordinary.
Is not following a sequence. It is not out of ordinary.
Yeah, bro.
That's not out of the ordinary?
I don't think
if something is ordinary, you wouldn't think it had a structure, it has a sequence?
Let's end this right now.
Thank you.
Please.
I was about to say Google.
Hey, I got it, bro. You don't gotta waste your time. So I'll Google the word strange.
All right.
Why don't you Google the word arbitrary?
Hang on.
Or that. Either way.
So strange is unusual or surprising in a way that is unsettling or hard to understand. Okay, cool. So that's strange.
But that doesn't.
Hold on.
So I want to ask.
You doing arbitrary?
Random does not come off in any of those other words as a synonym.
It's funny that we were arguing about words.
That's perfectly fine. It doesn't have to.
I'm asking you.
That was just my interpretation of the word strange. I think strange is something that is typically out of the order. Oh, I'm sorry. We were using random in regards to arbitrary.
The way you just defined that, yeah.
You were saying that it was strange, correct?
Yes.
Okay, I got you.
But
So-
to me, strange and random are somewhat of a synonym of
Nah,
each other.
because random is without definite aim, direction, rule, or method.
So wouldn't that be hard to understand? Which is strange. How does that not make sense?
It could be.
Am I tripping? Wait, I'm just want to understand. Do y'all not see that tie?
No,
That's
I
just
see
random
what
and
you're saying.
strange.
It's
I
just
see what
me.
you're saying.
I see what you're saying, but it's just not.
So
how I would.
arbitrary is based on random choice or personal whim.
So
rather-
random, first of all, is in the word choice of,
but
that-
not strange.
But before I even knew that was in the definition of it, because you named
Hey,
that last.
back up out my
I
face
could-
and talk to the mic.
Okay.
Sick of you.
He is getting a little
But,
aggressive about this word
but
arbitrary.
before you even said what the definition of that was, I used those two words and just said before he said the definition that they were parallel to one another. Man, fuck it, man.
I can see you was hyping English class, weren't you?
I actually always got A's in English class.
Yeah, see, I see it.
So
Even in college.
I see a little vein on the
A's.
side. You was like,
He see the vein on the side of my head, and I got a hat on.
so he was
the
so-
side, yeah, he's
Paul!
not covered by the hat.
Oh, my
like,
God.
what do you mean?
no, because you said the arbitrary meant strange, which it doesn't. Strange is nowhere in the synonyms for the word or
synonyms.
anything. Like it's not
But
not
we,
in there.
But
There's-
we just had the conversation, right? And
Yes.
the word random came into play, which I said, that's the same thing to me. I said
To you.
that prior to you saying the definition of arbitrary, which went to random.
So I'll tell you some synonyms for it. These are the synonyms for the word random: unsystematic, arbitrary, which I used, unmethodical, haphazard, unarranged, unplanned, undirectional, casual, indiscriminate, nonspecific,
So
stray,
if I did
erratic.
something unplanned, you would not, in your list of words, think to say strange. I
would say
do
random.
this same thing in this same order all the time. And then I randomly change that order. That's strange. What? Yeah, I'm done with y'all. Like, yeah.
Strange synonyms: unusual, odd, curious, peculiar, funny, bizarre, weird, uncanny, queer, unexpected, unfamiliar, abnormal, atypical, and non. Oh, hold up.
What?
Anomalous.
I thought-
Oh, anomalous. Okay, anomalous.
Oh, okay.
Untypical.
that's
different.
a word I don't know.
Anomaly. Anomalous is just the.
The fact that this
a
is
different
even a
conjugation.
thing right now is really
I
bad.
was
This is
about
great.
to-
This is good
I was about to
concept.
say next topic.
I think it's a good concept.
Fuck you.
You don't think so?
This shit is stupid.
That was. Hey, you a good friend, man.
No, he's not a good friend.
He just
'cause
took the. He just
I
took
don't
the
care
feather
about
off your
that.
shoulder.
We're having a dumbass conversation about synonyms. Who gives a fuck?
I'm just trying to educate.
They
the people.
care. I don't know.
You think they care?
I think a lot of people that are listening may not know what those words are or the differentiation between those words.
I
So-
understand that part.
Please
I
write.
understand that part.
Please
But my
write
part
in the
is-
comments.
I'm so
My
serious.
part
Please
is
write
the
in the
fact-
comments or write in Sherm's Facebook if you care about this.
My part is the fact that y'all
Wow.
niggas are
I'm
really
just
having
saying,
a
we get the
debate
people's
on
opinion.
how you use a word and how he would use a word. Like no one gives a fuck how you're using it or how he's using
Well,
it.
they care.
You're real spicy tonight.
They
I just
care.
don't give a fuck.
I just want to let you know that you're being
I just
very
don't care.
spicy. and
It's
I
not
don't
that big
care.
of a deal.
It's
but
the temperature is
it's
up
cool
here. We're
listening
supposed
It's
to
to
always
everybody.
nah. I shouldn't. That's your temperature. See what I'm talking about? Now you subjectifying me again.
subjectifying.
Yeah, that's what you're doing.
Shall we delve into that word next?
Can we?
No.
Yeah, bitch.
You know, I don't want to get into that.
No,
either.
wait. Let's talk about the shit that's been going on with the game recently, man. Not the game like
Joe
Actually,
Budden.
he's corny.
and,
anybody listening right now, you have just officially lost the game because I know you thought about the game. You're welcome. But y'all know what that is?
The show?
No. There's this thing called the game that's not really a thing, but if you
What?
say, "Oh man, I lost the game," because so the whole premise behind this game is to not think about it. So when somebody says, "I lost the game," you have then essentially lost the game because you thought about what you were not supposed to think of. It's weird.
Yeah, moving on.
It's
About-
weird.
yeah,
but-
it lost me a little bit.
It's weird. But we're talking about the rapper of the game. So the rapper of the game mentioned Kim Kardashian in a song, again, for like the fifth time. We all know he's
lame,
had
bruh.
a past with Kim
Sexual
Kardashian.
relations.
Right. And
Yeah, all
then
that.
and then he's now mentioning Joe Budden's now fiance.
It's corny.
Yeah.
It's very corny because you got to look at it like this. Like, why are you talking about? Like, it's just corny. Like, you're a guy, a grown man at that, 40-something years old, talking.
You just
about,
don't act like a grown man.
right. And you're
That's
talking
all.
about past
And
relationships with
and
women
it's
that you've had sex
promo
with.
because your albums never do any good unless
Right.
you talk about
But
somebody else.
game has had a history of acting like that, so I'm not
I mean,
surprised.
that is his whole blueprint.
I do
not
think that he
surprised.
is a very. I think he's a legend in his own right in regards to the rap game. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's not
I think
a
he's
bad
a
rapper.
notable artist.
No, he's a
I
good
don't think-
rapper.
He's
Absolutely.
like what y'all said. Like, well,
What?
I don't know if y'all went that far. Remember when I was saying like Vince Carter is one of my favorite all time, and y'all was like,
No. Hold on. Let's revert that quote. You didn't say he's one of your favorite of all time.
Did I say
You
He
thought
said he was like a
you
top
thought
50.
this nigga was one of the top
Top
15 greatest
No,
players.
I
of
didn't
all
say
time.
15.
He said 50.
Oh,
It was
yeah, he
50.
said
It was
50.
50.
But either way, nigga,
Oh,
you put this
I think
nigga
it's top
name.
15.
Nah, nigga 50 is still a long shot. Like, this nigga is not better than 50 of the other greats. Like,
Of all time?
of all time, Vince Carter? No,
but
sir.
I think it's that same situation where it's
Nah,
just
the game
like,
sucks. I'm sorry.
The game is like he's
You said the
he's,
game
he's a
sucks?
good
Nigga sucks. I'm
he's
sorry.
a good
As a
rapper,
rapper?
He's boring.
but he's not
As a rapper?
he's not
Boring.
legendary. He's not legendary.
You talking about as a
regards to-
rapper?
Yes, he's boring.
How is he legendary?
How is he not
Legendary?
boring?
Now that first album was fire.
Yeah, that's because it was with 50 Cent and all that
Yeah.
hot
When I
shit.
say
So-
legendary in his own
yeah,
right,
you
I'm
say
talking
he's
about
boring, you
shit
mean
like
his records that he's came out with?
What record do the game have to make you say, "Oh shit"?
You wouldn't get far.
That
like
make
that
that,
one.
make you get up
Yeah.
and be like, "Oh, let me."
So,
You know what that make me do? Let me go wash some dishes, nigga. That's,
Alright,
he
no,
makes
what
chore
was that?
music.
I like
That's what he
One
make.
Blood.
I'll level with you. I'll
that
level you.
10 Jesus piece, that Jesus piece joke.
Ah,
that joke was
the one with-
kind.
What?
that was with Kanye.
He had
Right?
a
talking
joke.
about?
With, he had a joke with Kendrick. That joke was fire.
Yeah, it's probably because Kendrick was on it. So
Oh no, yeah. I know what you're
Now I
talking
think
heard
about it.
that.
Yeah,
I
all
heard
my
that.
favorite songs by him have
His features?
features.
I mean, the documentary was good.
The documentary was fire, but like
I say
50
he's a
Cent
good rapper
executive
because
produced it.
he can rap really
Like,
good.
would y'all go
As
to
a
a game
West Coast
concert?
rapper.
Why
Would
we
y'all
having
go
two-
to
hold
a
on,
game
hold on, hold on.
concert?
Why we having two different conversations?
Would y'all go to a game concert?
That's where I would
Nah.
level. That's where I would level with you because
Boring.
his music isn't as entertaining as a lot of
He's
other
past his prime.
rappers.
He's past his prime in the rap game, so I have no reason to go to a game.
To me,
concert.
even his
He
prime, I wouldn't
hasn't.
go
He
to a
hasn't
game
evolved.
in his
He-
prime, I would have.
I don't
I
think.
would
I don't think
not.
he's evolved that much either.
He don't
from
make
what
I'm not gonna
concert
lie.
music to me.
Not because he's better than him, but because I know it's gonna be more fun. I would go to a Tiger concert before I went to a game.
You said
concert.
Tiger.
Yeah.
In Tiger's prime?
Tiger's
Yeah.
first of all,
Oh,
Tiger
his
got
prime?
hits.
Hell
Ooh,
yeah.
his
First of all,
prime.
Tiger got hits, and then
Ooh, that
it's
club
just more
music?
lit.
The mixtapes he had, bro. The bitch I'm the shit mixtape.
Easy.
Yeah.
What else
Well
he
done,
had?
nigga.
Well done.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, and 4. Oh my
Yeah.
god.
I don't
Yeah.
know about 4, but
You
Even
hear
the
four?
fan, even the fan
No,
of the fan
that's
shits he did with Chris
Oh.
Brown, them shits was fire
Yo.
too.
Who?
So
It
Yeah.
was
Fan of a
okay.
Oh,
It
fan
was
of a fan?
okay.
No, I thought they were. Good.
I wasn't
It was
feeling
okay.
them.
I thought they were
feeling them
good.
that.
I was a fan of a fan.
Deuces wasn't really my thing.
Deuces was
I
garbage.
love Deuces.
Yeah,
You
I
ain't like
wasn't
Deuces?
No, that shit was such a light skinned anthem. Like
Yo,
that shit.
I think that's what we like.
Dark skinned niggas
That's why y'all doing
don't. Dark skinned
that.
niggas don't abide by that shit.
Right, it wasn't really.
We not finna
Yeah,
publicize and tell you.
Hey,
that-
I give you that light skin, dark skin one. I give you that one.
Yeah, that shit was a dark skinned nigga thing. That's why I'm like, all right, Chris. I don't know, man.
You probably right.
Deuces is kind of
Oh,
soft.
Yeah, dark skinned niggas ain't. That's why when I seen Kevin McCall, I'm like, oh nigga, you said tripping.
It was a little moist.
Oh lord.
This nigga said,
Kanye,
boy.
Kanye was on the
my
remix.
No, have you seen Kanye lately?
Do you see Kanye?
This, we talk about 07.
Well, I'm talking about Kanye's
Nigga, come on
love choices in general. Just,
Kanye was a grown man back then.
We talking about 808s or Heartbreak
He
Kanye.
dates
Hold on,
like a
808
light-skinned
Heartbreak. That's
nigga.
a different breed.
Well,
that's a different breed.
That's a light skin, dark skin.
Nah, that's how dark skinned niggas would carry shit. We gonna hold it inside.
Like, he
nigga.
did
We
have a
not
cute
gonna-
joint at first.
He let it all out in the album. What you mean?
But nigga, look how long.
Yo,
it
who
took
is
for him to let
Kanye
it out.
dating at first? Yo?
Amber Rose.
Nah, it was
Before
before
that?
that.
Mm,
He did
I don't
have
know.
a cute joint.
I ain't
Yo, I
following.
can't
Oh, girl, I don't even.
Yeah,
I ain't follow
yeah,
him
it
like
was-
He was in
that.
love with that bitch.
She
Who?
was, yeah, he
I don't
was
know who it
engaged
is. I
to
can't
her.
remember. Yeah.
Oh, the one before Amber.
Yeah.
I have no idea who that is.
I have no idea. I don't know.
Nah,
but
it
back
really
back
hard
back
to
to the game though.
That
He
nigga suck.
corny.
He's very corny. I mean, it's because the
He
way
can
I
rap, but he corny.
the way I see this, if y'all out here bragging about having sex with somebody's current you know, wife, fiance, whoever the case may be.
I mean,
one, it's insecurity in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? No, it's definitely insecurity because you're trying to compensate for something, and plus these women aren't talking about you. They don't care about you. They have no.
It'd be different. It'd be different if there was a reason why it was brought up.
Wait.
Not if you randomly come out with it.
Let Aric talk.
The female's fucking perspective of it is more so catered toward being quiet as a whole.
That's what you think?
Yeah.
Why would
you don't think
like,
women talk about people they slept with?
Yes, women talk about people they slept with, but number one, none of these women are the actual artists who make a living for talking. Second of all, yes, in a lot of cases it's insecure, but let's say if Kanye had said something slick the game and then he would have said it, man, I wouldn't have said that was insecure. I think he would have just took a low blow because he said something.
But that's the thing.
Kanye didn't say anything.
I know, but
so it makes it insecure.
But you were saying it's always like that, and I was just saying it's not always like that. Like
I didn't say always. I said it's insecure.
Like period.
And in this case, it is insecure.
Because in this case, even with the point that you just made, you got two females that are pretty publicly outspoken females. Like Kim K says her shit, and Sin definitely ain't quiet.
Right.
Like so,
like if you're gonna brag about somebody, especially if they're prolific enough to get you somewhere in life, you're gonna be like, oh yeah, I was with him because that's gonna give you some leverage.
Especially where Sin started from with the Love and Hip Hop shit. Like Sin don't really have a
perfect example. In that scenario, I'm completely with you. Being a gentleman always works out a lot better.
Hey, why are we talking about different scenarios?
We're
talking about this one.
But if it was like Biggie and Tupac,
that's different. They're beefing.
I would have definitely.
They're beefing. Absolutely, you're gonna dig up something from the past. Yeah. And even if it's not true, you're gonna say it. Just
this nigga, the game came out of nowhere with this shit.
It's not true, but
and I don't know.
People say stuff in rap beef all the time. It's not true.
That's so.
It's for the shock value.
But it's different.
No Vaseline.
That's with celebrities and everything. There's a lot of stuff out there.
There's certain levels to it though.
You seen with the beef with Tupac with the Faith Evans shit. They showed you that in the Tupac movie, nigga. Like, never happened. But the way how that shit.
Their perspective.
Right. But at the end of the day, man, the past is the past. You know what I'm saying? Like, what happened in the past shouldn't be brought up now. Especially.
She lets Stevie J hit it.
Huh?
What they got to do with.
Who you talking about?
something different.
Stevie J hit it, she definitely might have let Pocket in it.
Oh, you talking about?
It don't even matter.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Regardless,
I had to shut it down like that.
Regardless though, this game has shown a history of this. He hasn't really changed that much. I wasn't surprised by the behavior. I think we all agree that, like you said, it was corny, immature, insecure.
I don't think the game even have a blue check on Twitter anymore. Like, this nigga's whack. This nigga's whack. This nigga's so fucking irrelevant.
He's one of the people. He got a yellow check. It's fading away. His check is fading away.
He's kind of one of the people I want to see get beat up. Not really physically see get beat up, but in the sense like meet his match. Because it's like for instance, he runs into these guys.
He need to be with 50.
You took you took the words out of my mouth.
50.
It's like you never got to shoot the one with 50 though. Well, they did have like a shootout.
50 is good at that shit, man.
But the shootout was indirect. It was never directed towards them.
Right.
It was always through their mutual, not
their
mutual,
parties.
but their.
It's like he could hit 40 Glock. But he can't.
I thought that was corny too.
Can't find 50
that was so corny.
50 would have
recorded the whole thing.
The video, like the reason I said that was corny. I mean, not trying to bring up the past, but I thought that was corny because 40 Glock wasn't trying to fight him.
Yeah,
like I think that's always weak trying to fight somebody that ain't trying to fight, unless he really, really did something crazy to you. Like
I wanted to
that
see
was
Stitches
stupid.
in game 1-on-1.
Nah,
Stitches?
I mean, game ain't one.
Hey, Whack might have got him, but that don't mean.
Then they had some type of like, or
they was beefing at a point in time.
Something happened in like Miami or something with Stitches in game.
Stitches got knocked out by Whack 100 because of
that's
beef.
what it was. Yeah.
I don't even know what Stitches does.
I don't know. I don't really care about him.
All I know is he better still be rapping because when you get a tattoo like that on your face,
yeah, he was a rapper.
It's the only thing
I don't know
you
if
can
he's still.
He look
you
wild.
can not work at Walmart doing that
or something.
Yo, you can't.
Hey, can you imagine if he was a greeter at Walmart?
Ooh,
welcome to Walmart.
Halloween would be lit for him.
He got the stitches on his face.
Yeah, like. Bro, you can't even work late night at a food station or a gas station. That's some scary shit.
They don't even want your face to be out.
Pull out, shoot at a nigga that's looking at you like that.
Oh my goodness.
Indeed.
Imagine coming up to the first window at McDonald's at
really
3 in the. I'm sorry, there's no more first window.
Fully committed.
Imagine coming up to the second window at McDonald's 3 in the morning and you see that. Man, I might lose my shit.
Aric, I would love to run into somebody like you with McDonald's, bro. We'd have an excellent conversation in the drive-through.
At McDonald's.
Yeah. Eric, the type of dude you pull up on in the drive-thru, you end up having a 30-minute conversation.
Not me, because if somebody talking to me like that, I'm telling this nigga shut the fuck up. Like, I don't want to talk to you.
You gonna slap the shit
Nah,
out?
you seen a dude who passed the blunt
Yo,
to
what
like
if-
the dude?
what if
Oh
he-
yeah,
like,
let's go ahead the cashier.
I'm fading this
He like,
nigga. You gotta get faded. You gonna try to hold my food, nigga? Nah, you got.
You know how awkward it is
Go
to try to
storm.
fight somebody through your car,
You know what-
through the drive-through window to somebody that's up.
Yeah.
Nah, you
That's
know,
good. I
you know
seen
what,
the video
yo?
of it. It
I
looked
think I would
awkward as
get
hell.
rich if I was working at McDonald's. You know why?
Wow.
I would touch people's hearts and go viral. They'd be like, I ordered the food,
So do it.
and the food was actually what I ordered. They didn't forget anything. They didn't put too many or different sauces. Like, he simply just provided me the food. Like,
did your job.
I don't
What
think
McDonald's he
I don't
going
think
to?
that's the point.
Williamsburg.
I don't think that's the point of McDonald's
Williamsburg.
anymore. The point,
I don't think Williamsburg
like,
lit
is the
either.
point fast food anymore? I swear.
Nobody goes to McDonald's.
Can
for
I
the
get a
service,
number
that's for sure.
6 with a Sprite and some barbecue sauce? I'm talking about any fast food
What's
restaurant
number 6?
nowadays. I'm just making up something. I'm just saying.
I thought you.
But you would think, right? It's 12 items on the fucking menu. I mean, at some point, it has to click that, okay, this number 6 is this burger. Boom, boom, boom. I know it at this point. I ain't even looked at the goddamn menu.
Mm-hmm.
Your motherfucking ass can't
Some-
put some nuggets in a box.
You remember when we
Well,
pulled up
look-
to rallies and they had an attitude? When we pulled
I
up
ain't
to
gonna
get
lie,
the food?
yo. In some cases, I'd be like, you know what? They should lower the shit just for fast food workers, the minimum wage. Cause these motherfuckers be like, you came to get some burger and a fry, nigga? Yes, that is what I came.
How
here
dare
for.
you come to get some food
How
at 1
dare
a.m.
you
and we
come to
close
get
at 2?
some fucking food? Like,
How could you?
what are you talking
Unacceptable.
about, nigga?
Oh, you want barbecue sauce?
They trying to make that Camry look like that IS.
Hey, don't talk about no goddamn stuff on
kinda
TV
are,
when the
sorry.
audience can't see it. How
They
dare
kinda
you?
are.
Right. Yeah, I was right
How
there.
dare, how dare you deprive the people of this visual experience?
In great.
I mean, I told him the whole
Hey, Joey.
thing. The Camry look like.
What you doing?
Don't know. Don't ask me
Hey,
that.
come pop in on the podcast real quick, bro. We recording right now.
You still
Wow.
sick, Joey?
Wow. He is still sick.
Oh, now it's your stomach. Oh, I'm so blessings.
Don't do this.
But
Tomorrow's gonna be his
blessings.
pinky toe.
But yeah, no, I do agree with the fast food thing, man, because like it's a simple job, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, yeah, it is demanding at times. You do have to be moving relatively quick sometimes, but at the end of the day, you have a job that you're getting paid to do, and it's not a very demanding job. You know what I'm saying? It's not a difficult job to do.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, it's not.
Well, one thing I wanted.
What was that?
You trying to play it off, but his face it was like it's over.
Nah, his face ended it.
Because
for
I was
me.
like, yeah,
What was it?
he just puked.
Yeah, like you didn't hear that? I'm sure the mic picked that shit up.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that shit sounded crazy.
Yeah.
I heard the hoop.
Yes.
Like we heard the shit hit the toilet.
I
Like,
tried to ignore it, but all right.
Soon,
So
Joey.
fast food. So
I don't want to talk about no food no more.
Yeah, but no, it's appalling because we went up there. It was like 1:20 or something like that, and they were open till like 2. Oh, it was like before midnight.
Yeah, it was like midnight.
Oh, okay.
Matter of fact,
Was
we
it
were
not
wondering
busy?
if it closed before midnight, and we had gotten there right before midnight. Yeah.
True, and they closed at 2 a.m. So
Right.
they had 2 hours till they closed. It's not like we pulled up like last 10 minutes. So we pulled up, placed our orders, and they like had an attitude through the intercom. We pulled up. Paid for our food, got our stuff, and you asked for like barbecue sauce, and they had an attitude when we asked for barbecue sauce. I'm like, what? And he was like, yeah, it's gonna be like 53 cents. I'm like, whoa, hold up, 53 cents.
63 cents, nigga.
Nah, it was 53.
for
Oh,
bar
wow.
extra barbecue. Or something?
For one barbecue,
One.
53
I was
cents.
like, yo.
He was trying to take
So-
money for you.
I
You
mean,
gonna
I
put that
got
in the
it, but
register.
goddamn.
So he asked for 2, right? And then Eric only had $1, and then Eric was like, you know what? Never mind, just give me 1. And then he was like,
Just take it.
just take it, and then took the $1. I was like, why you got attitude? You the one that chose to work here.
He put that
like,
dollar right in
well,
his
no,
You
pocket,
submitted the
too.
resume for rallies.
Rallies
that's
on
what I was gonna
Mercury
say.
and Hampton.
That's what I was
He
gonna
put
say
that
about
dollar
like
right in
service,
his pocket.
about service in general. Like
yeah.
a lot of places that don't really pay a lot. Obviously, you get people a lot of times that either aren't good under pressure, like if it gets busy. You have people that don't want to work there at all, and they kind of like they're in a situation probably in their life where they have to, and a lot of times it falls on management. There's some fast food places like in McDonald's and Wendy's where they get a lot of business and they have to have a good manager in that area. You see them, everything's flowing. You see the manager in there directing things and stuff like that.
It's pretzel world, nigga. I was not the supervisor to play
I
in
think
that
it's more
bitch.
so.
I was not the one.
I feel you on that to a certain degree, but I feel like it's more so your first point, which is because they pay at the bottom, they get the bottom.
Absolutely.
Like, and it's just
if you have good management.
Yeah, he did just.
If you have good management though, that makes that way less of a problem as far as the service.
But it's only so much you can manage at certain people. Like, I get what you. All right, when you start getting up there with the pay, yes, management means a lot because the average person. Let's even go to 40,000 a year. The average person making 40,000 a year is willing to learn. The person that's getting paid $7.25 an hour literally could care less because in that entire hour you can realistically make $7.25. If you threw me on the street and told me to make $7.25 an hour, I think I could realistically do that. So with that being said, they have nothing to lose. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like there's no with the 40 grand. It's like I'm paying my rent. I'm paying my car note. I ain't balling, but I actually got something to lose. With this, it's like, man, I'm getting paid like $100 a week. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what am I really like? What is there really to lose? You know what I'm saying?
Right. Well, what I will say, I agree with you, and then I disagree because, on a sense, of course, they have a feeling where they don't want to be there. They don't care as much. But when you have good management there, and the fact that they're there and they're already making so little amount of money, probably means they're not able, or they're having a harder time finding a job that even makes more money than that. That's most of the case. It's like that because you wouldn't settle for a job that was less, and definitely if you didn't like it. So if they don't like the job and it pays little, they're probably struggling to find a job or find a job that has the right amount of pay. So they need that job. If they didn't need it, they wouldn't be there.
Yeah, but
so the fact that they need
jobs,
a job and you have management that's making it known that, hey, we're not gonna have you here if you're not doing this, this, and this. But that makes I'm not saying it takes away all the problems. I'm saying it makes it less of a problem as far as having some better service.
But you're not noticing that this like the way America works is not that leveled out like that. So it's like 40K jobs having as much to lose, and then it has a drop off point. Okay. So it's like, for instance, you were saying, well, they probably need that job. No, they don't, because those type of jobs you can get anywhere, any day. You can go. You can jump from fast food restaurant to fast food restaurant. They don't care what your history is. You can do labor jobs easily. You know what I'm saying? Because they don't care about anything other than what you can do for them that day. Okay. So again, it's not that they have a lot to lose. All of those same people doing all of those type of jobs are all living the same type of lifestyle.
And let's look at also, I think everybody knows that minimum wage is not a living wage. So those people that do work those minimum wage jobs probably have other jobs. You know what I'm saying? So they don't just have that one job. They probably have additional jobs and or in a household that has multiple people that are providing to pay the rent and pay the bills and things like that, because nobody is surviving off minimum wage. There's no way. You can't. Not, especially not in this area.
Nah.
But that goes more to my point in the sense that the person who's working those type of jobs is working with multiple people. Not saying that it isn't pressure to be able to provide, but it also, in a sense, relieves the pressure of it, because if you got 4 people going in on the rent and you mess up one time, 3 people can hold that weight better too. It just goes right back to that cycle of when you don't have anything, it's very easy to go back to nothing because you don't have nothing. If I quit this little job for a month, I only pay $350 of the rent, right? So I can kind of bullshit for a couple weeks, get a half paying $10 job and pay the rent. You know what I'm saying? Like, within the month, I can get back on time because I make so little that getting right back on my feet ain't nothing but a paycheck or a pay loan or a sold PlayStation away. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like,
and one thing too is like, far as being a good manager, I agree with everything you said. But as far as being a good manager, you're not just looking for any old employee. The people that don't give a shit, don't want to be there, don't want to work, most of the time, they don't care if they don't stay.
Can I ask you something real quick? I'm just trying to find the direction that we're going with this. So are you arguing that having a good manager will increase service or like morale? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, we're talking about the service. Yeah.
Okay. That's a great.
That's what I was talking about.
I agree up until a certain point, and I'm saying there's a slope there. So regardless of good management, people will leave. Perfect example: cell phone sales. Right? They used to make a lot more money, so people were. If you notice, people at the cell phone store are not mean to you for the most part. They're not as sarcastic. You got your couple bunch because they make enough money, right, by being nice to you that it's worth it. Once you hit that slope, that manager begins to give up on who they're looking for because they don't have enough money to pay someone to be interested in caring about their job. So now they're taking anybody.
Well, you also have to look at it like this. The people that they are hiring to work there. So typically with minimum wage jobs, they're meant for high school students, college students,
right?
People that are retired that just want to have something to do because they're bored,
right?
And felons, typically,
right?
Now, when you bring in the felons, obviously there's a certain, and this is not to marginalize and stereotype felons, because I'm sure majority of the felons that do come out are actually decent people that just got put in a bad position and made a bad choice.
You broke the law, and when you get out of jail, you know that most people don't trust you.
Right. So I mean that's an assumed risk. So and they could be some of the best workers you ever had. They might not be.
Or they could actually steal what you.
Yeah, right. So I mean, it's an assumed risk when you take them on. But I mean, when you're talking about jobs that offer services to people and the demeanor of the people that are working there, it comes with who you have working there. You know what I'm saying? So obviously, I mean, even if you have good management, that's not necessarily going to make me, as an individual, act a certain way. And kind of to Eric's point too, because I'm only getting paid $7.25 or $7.50 or whatever minimum wage is now. So I'm only getting paid that. So why would I exert additional effort for service when, you know what I'm saying, I'm not getting compensated to do so? I could just go somewhere else if I need to. And again, that goes back to the point where, like he was saying, you can always get a minimum wage job anywhere. I mean, because there's a plethora of them, especially in the area, you know, whether it be retail, whether it be fast food or whatever. And I mean, management does help, but I don't think
it helps. But once you fall off, once you get lower than like $12, $11 an hour, it just starts getting like, nah, if you're not gonna pay, it's not gonna work. Cause,
but I mean, and again, they chose to take that job though, so you can't go into a job with that mindset. Especially if you accepted the offer.
But naturally, as a human being, and that's why the rules need to be changed. Naturally, as a human being, see, you're right. We don't know the exact worth of every little thing, right? But you kind of do in a sense, where it's like, all right, if iPhone all of a sudden didn't slowly raise the prices on their phones, we wouldn't see it. If they suddenly made that phone $5,000. People would be like, even the people that buy it would be like, I don't think I'm gonna buy the next one because I made such a big purchase and I don't feel that this is worth it. So when you're working for $7.25, something tells you, man, if I spend 8 hours here and I sleep for 7 hours, that's 15 hours. I got 9 hours left. I got a kid and they start saying, man, this ain't worth me spending half my day here. They don't know exactly what they're worth, but they know something ain't right. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? So it's just like,
that's why I tell
that's
niggas,
when it gets to that point.
That's why I tell niggas, invest in yourself.
Well, see, there you go. I like what you said there, because when I'm talking about, like, because obviously all fast foods don't necessarily have good management or a manager that cares enough. When you do get that piece, like, say there's a business,
why does the manager even care? Because they're getting paid. I'm sorry, my bad.
I know, that's good.
Hey, square up with him.
I told you get the
no, but what I'm saying is, like, sometimes, because you have to realize these places have district managers, and there's certain areas that get a lot more business than others. So these places that do a lot of business are in a high traffic area where they get a lot of business. They want really good management in those areas. And when you're talking about a good manager, that's going to be a manager that's looking for the right person, not just picking up anybody and just working with them. So when they do the interview process, they'll say, hey, you know, be honest, we need this, this, and this from you. And also even with a good manager, some people just want to work in a place, even though they know how they're going to feel about making $725 or having to do, you know, some of that type of work in those areas. They want a good manager that's just going to treat them good. I know a lot of people, they may not care about the work, but even though, okay, I can leave this job and go to another job, you might be going to another job and you still don't know what you're going to get. You may get a shitty ass manager, doesn't care about you, treats you bad, makes you do all this extra stuff that you probably shouldn't have to do, or, you know, doesn't manage things right. But if you working for that same amount of money and have a good manager that, you know, sees how hard you work, gives you good time off, and takes care of you.
So quality of life, basically.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if you do have to work in a shitty situation and you have good management, like, why would you, it depends what type of worker you are. It's always situational. So if you are maybe that felon that's just looking to try to make a good living and not have a stressful job atmosphere or whatever, and make it as most pleasant as possible, like, you may be willing to go there and do what the manager wants you to do, because he's a good manager. You have to also look, and that's what a good manager is looking for.
You have to look at it demographically too, because like just this area alone, niggas is lazy around here, bro. Nobody wants to work for shit. Like, niggas want shit to just.
Generationally, we kind of are like that too. Our generation is a lot like that. In the sense of
McDonald's, though, in particular, and maybe some other fast food joints, I don't think they're in the business of customer service anymore. I think they completely don't care.
It's dropped a lot.
I agree. I think McDonald's predominantly is serving to poor Americans. I'm not gonna say a race, but I think they're saying, look, the prices are this low now. You can come in here with $1.50 and walk away with something to eat. So at this point, we don't care. When it's after 10 o'clock in Virginia, in most places that aren't big cities, what are you eating after 10, 11 o'clock at night?
Cookout.
You eating cookout if you got one, right?
Wendy's.
You're eating Wendy's,
Sonic,
McDonald's,
Steak and Shake.
I'm just saying, it's the same old places.
Waffle
They don't
House.
need to win your business. Well, you eat at Wendy's enough times, you just gonna go to McDonald's just because you don't have Wendy's too many times.
I will never go to McDonald's.
It's not with all businesses, but if you see this within plenty of businesses, they're not gonna care about situations until you make it a problem for them. So if the public all comes together and, well, I'm not gonna say all comes together, but if they make it a huge issue where on social media, on news sites, there's some big problem with some company like McDonald's, for instance, about their service or whatever, and it starts to hinder on their profits, then they'll do something. But if not, it'll be, you call the manager, complain about your order, you'll get like a free fry or whatever they give to you, and then it's done with. They have a system to deal with it, and it's never gotten any bigger than that.
I'm glad you brought that up with the little fry thing. So
the little fry thing.
So the reason why I think that's not going to happen for a very long time, and I think it kind of went more to, and I think he kind of accidentally pulled into it too. So he makes more money, right? So naturally he doesn't go to McDonald's. He doesn't have kids. He's not in a super stressful financial situation.
Are you saying I'm privileged, sir?
I'm not trying to say that.
You talking about him? You talking about Sherm?
Yeah.
But
listen to what I'm saying.
You talking about Sherm?
As in you were
he
saying,
called you Sherbert
listen,
earlier.
As into y'all caring about what McDonald's doesn't care for these two reasons. Number one, they're like 99 billion served. They've got enough profits to keep going for another 10 years if everybody stopped buying McDonald's now. Secondly, with this situation, the poor person is not in the position to do anything different like other things, and the person who does have more is typically not gonna fight for the person that they're not in that position. So what happens is, like you said, the person that's impoverished complains, you give them a fry and they'll keep coming back every day. Why would I fix it? You get what I'm saying? Because even if I do get bad service and you don't give me a fry, if I'm a single mother that's not making much, got 2-3 kids, everybody's hungry, everybody's got practice, a PTA meeting or this or that, where can I get a meal that's gonna feed all 4 of us, all 3 of us for $20? McDonald's. So it's the same old cycle. You feel me? Like
chopped cheese.
Okay, Sherman.
All I'm gonna say is Chick-fil-A will never allow this to happen.
Was that going back into the whole good management thing I was talking about?
Well, yeah, because it's just like, again, once you fall
Well, they would
off,
just fire him.
yeah, I mean, but once
If
you
it's
fall
that
off
place.
that plane, it's just a cycle, bro. Like,
I agree.
you can't, the managers can't keep firing because they got to keep work. The workers don't got to do so much because they know this ain't that great of a job. But it don't work like that in other places because it's just like when you pay people more, people make their own narrative. These people who are working for this money don't have their own control over their narrative at this point. The old person who wants to work because they're retired, he either has money or he doesn't. He's not more than likely not gonna do some $1 million thing at this point, right? The kid in college is trying to make their destiny. The teenager has no control over his life other than maybe picking this job. You feel me? So the person that's 30 years old flipping burgers, they don't have much control over their life. When you get somebody $80,000 a year, they gonna find something to be worth it about with their life. You feel me?
Okay.
So at this point, hey man, I let's say the simpleton person, man, I got this nice car, I dress nice, I got a little girl, I go to the alley on the Wednesdays and get
Not the alley.
basically he talking about the shipyard. You feel me? Like you gon' when you make a good
firing
enough
shots?
amount of money, I'm just saying in general, like when you getting a
he talking
decent
about
amount
bands.
of money, people get more content and they're more willing to go out their way or worry when things go wrong. Even the lazy person making 60, 80, $100,000 a year, when that quarterly review come, oh that week you know what I'm saying? That person when they come check the McDonald's, if that manager ain't hollering and screaming at them, do you think they care when the health inspector come?
But
You
that's
think they
that's to
care
me that's
when the
that's
district manager
to me
come?
you can't to me that's just how certain people's personality is, because in that same breath, that person that you pretty much just described, I mean, well, I wasn't making only $725, but I was making $13.20 or some shit at Bush. I don't fucking remember. But my mindset that whole time when I was working at Bush is that I don't want to work for nobody else. So you can't push another person to be better than what they are. Like most of those people that's working at McDonald's, for instance, that's where the fuck they want to be. Like that's
Probably,
to me, that's how I look at it. Like to me, that's you established that you had the same. Not like just this area speaking, we all went to Woodside. We all had the same teachers. We all got on the same school buses. We all went through the same shit, same phases, whatever. So where you're at,
I don't know about that. I wouldn't say that at all.
Well, what
I
I'm
mean,
gonna
you
say is-
describe everything that had somewhat effect, but your household and your in what you.
but
you know
absolutely.
what
But
I'm
this
saying?
goes back to our topic. This goes back to our topic on the very first podcast that we had. When are you gonna break that cycle and stop making that an excuse because of your household?
Yeah, but I mean, in the sense
True.
of like a person, I wouldn't expect someone, right, who went to school with us, all of the stuff you just said, but had a terrible household. I would never expect them.
Why not?
In certain cases,
Because you looking
because
at
because they might not have those tools.
What
It's
tools?
easy for me
I
to
like
pick
this
up.
conversation.
What tools?
It's
Jordan?
easy
like
for
this
me to pick
conversation.
up those tools and do something.
But what
with it.
tools though?
If you don't have somebody telling you in your household that you are smart or that you can do certain things, something that simple, bro. It's harder for someone to believe that
So what
than
am
somebody
I
else.
I didn't have nobody tell me all that.
I'm not saying
But
that
I'm
you
just-
can't
but I'm
overcome
asking you, but
adversity.
that's what I'm saying.
I'm saying that it's not more likely.
But that's certain people's mentality to let somebody tell them what they are. Like you can't.
But you make it
can't-
sound. But you make it to me. To me, it's insensitive to that because
It's not
it's
insensitive,
hard-
bro.
it's-
Because I do.
It's not that easy to.
It's not easy at all. But I'm telling you, look at me. Would you think I went through any of that?
But then the
But
way
just
you're
answer the
built is
question.
just is
answer the
different.
que- But that's why I'm built that way though, because of what I went through. They
That's-
let that shit tear them down. I didn't.
I think what Ronald's saying is he's trying to say that you shouldn't just generalize it because every situation doesn't always end up like that. It's always situational, and some people grow up with a different mindset and they go through certain things, and maybe they all go through hard things or rough things or not a good household.
But if we
but
go-
there's always different outcomes.
But if we go through, of course, there's an exception to the rule. But what I'm saying is, I have compassion for the person who's had a way different lifestyle and might not be at the same pace. Not saying he's incapable. I'm saying I have compassion for the fact if maybe he don't understand this or understand that, or I've gotten as far in the American dream as you would think at a certain age. It's way more understandable because when you don't know, it really is a bliss to you.
But at
You
the
feel
same
me?
time,
Like,
but when you try to teach said person and said person is not putting forth the effort, then what do you do?
But then,
you can't help somebody that don't want to help themselves, bro.
That's fact.
But that goes
You can't
back.
help somebody that don't
But
wanna
that
help
goes
themselves.
back to the environment. If you're not taught at a young age, I swear, in some instances, kids are just like dogs. If you try to train a 2, 3, 4-year-old dog, good luck. Good luck. Whatever you taught that dog in the first 2 years, that dog knows to do. And even if you teach him something new, let's say you teach him something new for 3 years. If you don't keep on top of that, that dog will revert to the same thing it did the first two.
So
You
let
know
me
what I'm
ask this
saying?
question. So when would you say children are most moldable? What age group?
Probably between like 3 and maybe like 12.
3 and 12. So if that's the case, if what you learn between 3 and 12, we use that same analogy that you just said, that you just put, why am I not a murderer?
I understand that.
I'm just asking the question, bro. If we gonna
Yeah,
use
it's
that
a
same
good
analogy,
let me ask
It's a
you
good
if
this
we gonna
question.
use
Let
that
me-
same
yeah, and
analogy,
I'm completely
good
in
question.
agreement with
why am
that.
I not in the game?
Here's my
Why am I there for my
here's my
kids?
rebuttal to that. Take your situation, right, and make it an actual statistic in the black community, and then tell me what the numbers look like. That's
you
all
know?
I'm saying. I know
you
that
know?
Michael Jordan didn't win in high school, and most people who don't go to the league. Yes, there's an exception.
Ella
But what I'm
Iverson didn't
saying-
win in high school.
Huh?
Ella Iverson didn't win in high school.
But my point is, these are the biggest exceptions in the sports history.
So what you
You're
saying
an
is-
exception.
But how many people
You
know
are
that I'm an
exceptional.
exception? How many people know that?
It's
though?
not the point that we're making is not whether you know that or not. The point that I'm making is I simply said I have compassion if one plant is getting water every day and another plant is getting water every other day. If this other plant has the genetics to grow at the same pace, great. I'm not saying it can't. I'm saying I'm going to have a lot more compassion for the plant that doesn't grow as fast because it's not getting water.
And there's
every
nothing
day.
wrong with having that compassion. But like I said, how far can compassion go when that person is not trying to better
But
themselves?
I think that goes back to how America is with we don't do enough rehab and we do too much persecuting. If some people would take the time out to care about their situations or care about what's going on, I think these people could jump. But we don't do that. We write you off and say, well, you can't do this, so boom, 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 we're going to keep moving.
But bro,
You get what
think
I'm
about
saying?
it. Think
Even
about it.
as a kid in school, if you're not as smart, no child left behind, which is, people think that when people say they hate that and there's no blue ribbons for everybody, they're being harsh. No, what they're trying to say is push everybody to the limit. You feel me? Push everybody.
But a
to
lot
try
of
to
niggas.
get
But
their
that's
best.
here's the thing. Like, and we gonna scale this back to just. Well, I ain't gonna say just our group, but just our group of friends to our peers. Certain niggas don't like to be pushed, and you know that from the situation with you and Jerry, for instance. Like how you push Jerry doesn't reciprocate that well. And sometimes I feel like the way how I push you don't reciprocate that well because of how I push you and how I talk to you. But at the end of the day, you still get that shit done. Do you or do you not?
But would you agree that the way that you
No.
you push is different? You just compared our group. In
Yeah.
our group, would you not say that the way that you talk to everybody else is indifferent than everybody else's complete way of talking? He even
It
talks
depends.
more like you in the sense of the aggressiveness because you're around. The three of us,
What?
I talk to him like that.
no, you talk to me like that too.
Don't
But
talk
to me,
me.
that's not a
You don't
bad
talk to me
thing.
like that.
But
at
think
all.
about it like this, and I'm not tooting my.
No,
'Cause
my
you do
point-
shit that makes me say that.
My point,
But I'm not trying to toot no horn or nothing like that. But at this point, every
Okay.
group needs a nigga like me around because at the end of the day, since I've been around, have you or have you not made better strides at completing your movie?
yeah.
Have you or have you not?
Okay.
Of course, because I'm pushing you to do that because you pissed me off.
Also because I'm inspired by the fact that you're a photographer.
Okay, but that's because I'm around though, and you see the drive of what I'm putting into my photography.
But then when it comes to actually getting creative, I get more of it from him because of the way that he words things. Now, I'm not disagreeing with you in the whole push factor, but I put it like this. When you bring it back to me and Jerry, why are our personalities like that? It's just kind of funny because that's a classic situation of seeing how two people are based on their environment.
But I feel like back then, that personality that Jerry had, and this is just me, this is just an opinion, this is not a full out thing. I don't feel like Jerry found himself yet at that point. So I don't think that was his true personality. That's just me personally, because this Jerry that I see
think
now,
I found myself?
No, I'm not saying that, but I also didn't know you as much as I knew Jerry then either.
Okay.
Like I didn't spend as much
I
time
would just
with
assume
you.
all of us, none of us found ourselves in.
Nah, I can't say
I'm
that.
trying to find
I can't say
myself
that.
today. You know what I'm saying?
I can't speak for that. I found myself a very long time ago.
So you still trying to find yourself today?
I mean, I feel like I learned new stuff about myself all the time.
So you feel like people that, regardless of their environment, could still change later?
Yeah.
And
That's all I'm saying. Okay. Don't fall a victim to your environment.
Well, I agree with all points that have been presented tonight.
I just feel like, you're right.
It's been fun. Yeah.
You're right.
I'm weak. I gotta work in the morning.
Oh, you do?
You're right, me too.
Yeah. All right, man. But yeah, we had a good discussion today. We talked about a lot of good topics. Make sure y'all subscribe to us on YouTube. Make sure y'all listen to us on all streaming platforms. Anthony will sing for y'all if we get 200 subscribers, Ant's gonna sing a song for y'all.
I was in chorus.
That was a nice little jingle that you had going on there.
That was a jingle.
Check us out on Podiant. If y'all want to donate, check us out on Podiant.com. We have a Podiant section where you can subscribe, and it's just a monthly fee that you pay us. If you would like to, we would appreciate it. But all right, y'all got anything else to add?
75
Junction out.